Yeah, that feeling when you walk out of a job interview and you just know you messed it up.
Oh, yeah.
That horrible sinking feeling in your stomach, maybe 5 minutes in, you realize you're saying completely the wrong things, or maybe even worse, nothing much at all. I can still picture this interviewer's face, just politely nodding. I was 22, I think, and I was just rambling on about, well, definitely not why they should hire me. It's just this awful universal dread.
It really is.
Okay.
And now imagine, just try to picture that same feeling, that same pressure, but you're doing it all in a second language.
Right?
Like English. That challenge, trying to get your skills across, show your value, it can easily feel double, maybe even triple the pressure from many people listening. Honestly, just getting in that room is a big deal.
Exactly. And that's the key thing, isn't it? Often it's not that someone lacks the talent or the skill.
Not at all.
It's the delivery, especially in that high-stakes, maybe unfamiliar language environment. And that's precisely why we're doing this deep dive today. We're focusing on mastering your English job interview. Our goal here is to look at the basic patterns, really, that separate the confident candidates from the ones who seem, well, nervous. And these aren't secret native speaker tricks. They're simple things, learnable things you can practice.
And what you, the listener, will get from this is, I hope, more than just a few tips. It's kind of a shortcut, a way to feel genuinely more confident sitting in that interview chair.
Yeah.
We've got some real stories, practical phrases you can use, and really actionable advice to help you handle it better, to turn that, that dread into confidence. You walk out knowing you did your best.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with maybe the most common opening question, the one everyone kind of dreads. Tell me about yourself.
Ah, yes. The classic.
My 22-year-old self definitely made the classic mistake here, the one I just mentioned. When they asked me that, I think I froze for a second. And then I started rambling.
Wow.
Like for 3 whole minutes about my childhood, my hobbies, how much I loved hiking.
Literally anything but why I was a good fit for the job.
Oh, dear.
It was, it was a disaster. I could see it on the poor interviewer's face.
Chuckles lightly. Wait, it's a classic mistake, but it shows something really important. A lot of candidates don't realize this question isn't just, a casual chat about your life story.
Right. It feels like it, though.
It does. But it's not really just why should we hire you either. It's also this subtle test. Can you prioritize information? Can you articulate your value quickly, concisely?
Ah, okay.
Rambling shows maybe a lack of focus, not just, too much enthusiasm. And here's something interesting research suggests. Interviewers often make up their mind, their core decision, in the first, 7 to 10 minutes.
Wow, that fast.
Yeah. Then the rest of the interview is often just them looking for things to confirm that first impression.
Okay, so that first bit is crucial. Hugely. Your handshake, how you walk in, and that tell me about yourself answer. They carry disproportionate weight, so a much better answer. Something focused. Something like, well, I'm a marketing professional. I've got 3 years of experience in digital campaigns.
Straight to the point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about helping brands connect with their audience, and I'm excited about this specific role because, see, it immediately links who you are professionally to what they might need. Sets a professional tone right away.
That makes so much sense, especially if you're feeling that pressure. You connect your experience to their needs, but you're also showing you can be concise, strategic even.
Concise and compelling. That's the goal.
Okay. But let's talk about a challenge that's really specific for English learners. Sometimes, the fear of making a grammar mistake, or maybe just not having the right word under pressure, can lead to really short answers, like too short.
Yeah, uninformative ones.
Right. I remember working with someone, Maria from Colombia, lovely person. But when you asked her greatest strength, she'd just say, I am hardworking, full stop.
Oh, okay.
And, grammatically fine.
Yeah.
But it leaves so much on the table. It doesn't really tell the interviewer anything concrete.
Mm-hmm. And this brings up a really key point. How do you turn that short, basic answer into a story? Something compelling that actually proves the skill you're claiming.
Yeah.
We all hear about the STAR method for behavioral questions, right? Situation, task, action, result.
Sure.
But for English learners, sometimes the real challenge isn't just understanding STAR. It's actually crafting those sentences, making them coherent, finding the right words when you're nervous. It's about building that narrative fluency,
Right, doing it smoothly in the moment.
Exactly. So for Maria, instead of just, I am hardworking, we use STAR to build it out. Something more like, I'd say my greatest strength is persistence. By that, I mean I don't give up easily.
Okay, good start. Defining the term.
Yeah. For example, situation, in my last job, we had this key project, and it was really falling behind schedule. Task. My task, or part of it, was to make sure we hit the deadline for a really important client. Action. So I took the initiative, volunteered to work extra hours, I coordinated daily checks with different departments, and tried to streamline how we communicated. Result. And, well, the result was we finished the project ahead of schedule, the client was thrilled, and it actually became kind of an example for other teams later on.
Wow. Okay, that is night and day. Such a difference.
Right.
She's not just saying she's persistent. She's showing it
Yeah.
with details, with a clear outcome.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's be real. For someone whose English is still developing, creating that whole story on the spot can feel, well, really intimidating.
Absolutely. It can.
Do you have maybe a tip for simplifying STAR, making it feel less daunting in a live interview without losing all the impact?
That's a really good question. I think the key is to remember the spirit of STAR, even if you can't recall every single perfect detail or word. Focus on a clear problem-solution-result kind of arc. What was the challenge? What did you specifically do? And what was the good outcome?
Problem, solution, result. Got it.
You might not have the fanciest adverb, but getting those 3 core pieces across makes your story so much stronger than just a simple claim.
That makes sense.
And here's that other really valuable tip, the one embedded in Maria's example, especially for you listening as an English learner. If you use a word, maybe like persistence,
Yeah.
and you're not 100% sure the interviewer fully gets your grasp of it, just briefly explain it.
Like she did.
Exactly. That means I don't give up easily. It shows confidence, it shows clarity, and it just proactively clears up any potential confusion. It's smart.
That is super practical advice. Okay, so beyond the words we use, our bodies are talking too, right?
Yeah.
Let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about that silent language, body language.
Oh, definitely. Crucial and often overlooked, especially in those first few seconds. I remember interviewing someone once who walked in and gave me this, the limp, wet fish handshake.
Ugh. Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
No energy, zero confidence. And immediately, like it or not, my brain went, if they can't even manage a confident handshake, how are they going to handle tough situations at work?
It's maybe unfair, but it happened.
It's totally an unfair snap judgment. But like we said, that research about forming opinions in the first 7 seconds.
Right, the confirmation bias kicks in.
Exactly. So a good handshake, firm, but not, bone-crushing direct eye contact, and a simple, confident, nice to meet you, thanks for your time, it makes a huge positive difference right off the bat.
That first impression really is so powerful.
Yeah.
And then, after the handshake, posture,
Yes.
slouching in your chair or crossing your arms.
Mm-hmm.
It can unfortunately make you look maybe defensive
Yeah.
or bored, even if you're not feeling that way at all.
Mm-hmm. It sends the wrong signal.
Whereas just sitting up straight, maybe leaning slightly forward, it immediately says, I'm engaged, I'm interested, I'm listening. It's an unconscious cue, but it speaks volumes.
It really does. And speaking of cues, eye contact. Now, this one can be a bit tricky culturally.
True.
In some cultures, direct eye contact, especially with someone in authority, might feel disrespectful. But generally, in Western business culture, avoiding eye contact often reads as maybe dishonest or just very nervous.
So you need to find that balance.
Exactly. You don't need to have an intense stare down, obviously, but making appropriate eye contact when they're speaking and when you're answering, it's important. And here's a little trick, actually, that I learned from a communication coach. If looking someone directly in the eye feels too intense, too much pressure,
Yeah.
try looking at the spot right between their eyebrows.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. To them, it looks like you're making eye contact, but for you, it can feel a little less direct, a bit less overwhelming.
That's a brilliant little hack.
Yeah.
Especially useful when you're concentrating hard on your English already. Okay, so nonverbals are key. Let's swing back to the verbal. Navigating those tricky questions, another classic stumbling block. What's your biggest weakness?
Ugh. The dreaded weakness question.
Right. Now, the absolute worst answer you can give is something like, weaknesses. I don't have any weaknesses. I'm perfect.
Shuckles. Yeah, please don't say that.
Definitely not. What they're actually looking for here is self-awareness, honesty, and that thing called a growth mindset. The belief that you can actually learn and improve.
Precisely. So a much, much better answer shows areas you can improve, but crucially, that you're doing something about it.
Right. Action-oriented.
Yeah. Well, I used to struggle a bit with public speaking, feeling nervous, but I recognized that, so I joined a Toastmasters class. and I've been volunteering to present in team meetings. Actually, I'm much more comfortable now. I even kind of enjoy it.
That's great. It shows honesty, the action you took, and the positive result. Ticks all the boxes.
Exactly. Honesty, self-improvement, proactivity. Employers love that stuff.
Okay, that's a solid approach. But maybe, for listeners wanting to take it up a notch, is there an advanced strategy? Like choosing a weakness that could almost be seen as a strength if managed well. Maybe something common in high achievers, like difficulty delegating. How would you frame that?
Ooh, good one. That's a great nuance. You could try something like, I used to struggle sometimes with delegating tasks effectively. I think it's because I like to ensure everything is done just right, and I sometimes found myself taking on too much.
Okay, setting it up.
However, I've learned that empowering my team, giving them clear guidance, and trusting them actually leads to better results overall. Plus, it frees me up for more strategic work. So I've actually implemented some new check-in systems to ensure quality while still fostering that team autonomy.
Ah, very clever. It shows high standards, but also growth in leadership. That really elevates the answer beyond just a simple weakness.
Right. It frames it as a challenge you've actively addressed and overcome through development.
Okay, now here's something really crucial, maybe overlooked sometimes, especially for you listening as an English learner. It is absolutely okay. In fact, it's often a good idea to ask for clarification if you don't understand a question.
Yes. Please do this. Don't just guess.
Trying to figure out a complex question in a second language takes up so much mental energy, right? And if you guess wrong, you might give a totally irrelevant answer.
Absolutely. So just use simple phrases. Could you please repeat that question? Or just to make sure I'm understanding correctly, are you asking about my experience with X?
Like team management or whatever it was.
Exactly. It doesn't make you look bad. It shows you're paying attention. You care about giving a good answer. And it buys you a second to think. It shows engagement.
Good point. And here's another thing people sometimes forget, but it can make a big difference. Always prepare some thoughtful questions you want to ask the interviewer at the end.
Mm-hmm. Shows you're prepared.
It shows you've done your homework on the company, that you're genuinely interested in this specific role, not just, any job. Definitely avoid asking about salary or vacation time in the first interview.
Yeah, save that for later.
Instead, ask questions that show you're thinking about the work, the team, the challenges. It shows you're already picturing yourself contributing.
That's a great point. Questions like, what does a typical day actually look like in this role? Or maybe, what are the biggest challenges the team is facing right now, and how does this position help tackle those?
Ooh, I like that second one.
Yeah. Those kinds of questions show you're not just job hunting, you're looking for a place to make an impact. It demonstrates initiative, foresight. It's impressive.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. What to say, how to say it with body language, handling tough questions.
Right.
But all these great strategies, the star stories, the insightful questions, they only really work if you can deliver them with some confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And that really brings us to the power of practice, actually saying things out loud.
This is honestly the most practical, maybe the most important piece of advice we can give. Practice your answers. Practice your stories out loud.
Not just in your head.
No. Actually say the words. Use the gestures you might use. Pay attention to your tone. You could even record yourself on your phone.
Oh, that's a good idea. A bit cringy maybe, but useful.
It can be. But you'll immediately notice things. Like maybe you say or a lot, or your phrasing feels awkward. Recording helps you catch and fix that. And please remember, the aim isn't perfection.
Right.
Native English speakers stumble over words too. The goal is clarity, confidence, authenticity. And honestly, being multilingual, that's a strength. It gives you a unique perspective. Don't hide it, embrace it.
I totally agree. Having multiple languages is a huge asset to any team. Okay, so we've got the structure, the confidence.
Yeah.
Now, how about adding a little polish? Sprinkling in some specific words or phrases that make your English sound, more professional. Leave a stronger impression.
Excellent idea. Let's talk about some power phrases. Specific language that doesn't just communicate, it kind of persuades.
Okay, give us one.
My first pick. Swap out I like for I'm passionate about.
Ah, nice.
It's subtle, but it really signals more drive, more genuine interest. What do you think that shift does?
Oh, it changes the whole energy, doesn't it? Like working with customers is fine, it's functional, but I'm passionate about helping customers solve problems. Yeah. That shows real motivation, right? A deeper connection makes you sound like you care more, makes you more memorable. Okay, what's another one for showing impact?
Number 2, take initiative. This is a great one. It means you act without waiting to be told. You see something that needs doing and you just do it.
Proactive.
Exactly. You could say, in my last role, I took the initiative to create a new filing system and then add the benefit, which ended up saving our team about 2 hours a week searching for documents. It really highlights that you're a self-starter.
Yeah, I really like how take initiative emphasizes ownership. It's not just I did a task. It's
Wow.
I saw the need and I acted. Big plus for employers. What's next on the list?
Third one, collaborative approach. This is perfect for today's team-focused workplaces. It shows you work well with others.
Better than just I'm a team player.
Right. It's more specific. You could say something like, I really believe in a collaborative approach to problem solving. I think leveraging different perspectives helps find the best, most innovative solutions. It just sounds more thoughtful, more strategic.
Yeah, it's just you actually think about how teams work best, not just that you tolerate being in one. Much more impressive. Okay, number 4.
Fourth, results-driven. This is a good one. It describes someone focused on achieving clear, measurable outcomes, goals.
Okay.
For example, I'm a result-driven professional. In my last position, I increased sales by 20% by optimizing our digital ad campaigns. Using numbers, quantifying your impact. It's always very compelling.
Definitely. Numbers cut through. They provide that concrete proof of what you can do.
Okay, what's our final power phrase? And number 5, growth mindset. We kind of touched on this with the weakness question. It means you believe you can improve, learn new things, see challenges as opportunities.
Yeah.
So you might say, I really have a growth mindset. I'm always looking for ways to develop my skills and adapt to new technologies or ways of working. It shows you're adaptable, resilient, eager to learn all crucial things today.
These are fantastic.
Yeah.
Just weaving in a few of these phrases can make such a difference. They help you sound more professional, more confident, more articulate in English.
Yes.
So, okay, let's sum this up. What does all this mean for you, the listener, as you gear up for your next interview?
Well, the bottom line is that practice, consistent, deliberate practice really does boost your chances significantly. There's actually data on this. People who practice interviewing are about 60% more likely to get the job offer.
60%? That's huge.
It's massive, and it's something completely within your control. It's an advantage you can create for yourself.
So, okay, here's a challenge for you listening right now. A direct, actionable challenge. Pick one story, just one good story from your work experience or maybe even from school. A time you solved a tricky problem or helped out a colleague or learned a really useful new skill.
Got one?
Now, take that story and apply the STAR method we talked about. Situation, task, action, result. Map it out. And this is the key part. Practice telling that story out loud.
Please don't just think about it. Say it. Stand up. Walk around maybe. Talk to the mirror. Record it on your phone like we said. Practice with a friend.
Yeah.
The more you actually verbalize it, the more natural and confident it's going to feel when you're actually in the interview room. It really highlights how much brain power goes into just processing the language, right? Practicing frees up that mental space so you can focus on showing off your skills.
Absolutely. And hey, to help you even more with this, we've actually put together a free PDF guide. Yeah. It's got 15 common interview questions, some sample answers to give you ideas, all those key power phrases we just discussed, and some bonus tips specifically for managing those interview nerves. You'll find the download link right there in the show notes for you.
That sounds really useful. And, thinking bigger picture for a second, getting better at interviewing, it's not just about landing one job.
True.
It fundamentally makes you a better communicator overall. It builds your confidence. It makes you better at telling your own story, sharing your value in all parts of your life, really. It's a skill set that pays off again and again.
That's such a good point. Okay, before we wrap up, we'd love to hear from you. What's one interview tip you wish you'd known earlier in your career? Or, hey, if you're prepping for an interview right now, what's the biggest thing worrying you? Let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And remember, your English journey, your interview journey, it doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't. It just needs to start. Every little chat, every practice session like this, every small improvement, it all adds up. It moves you forward. So just take that first step or the next step.
We really do believe in you and your journey. We hope this deep dive was helpful, and we're here to support you. Thanks so much for spending this time with us today.